guys, it's me, Carbon Carpool Dioxide, and welcome back to another episode of Carbon Thinks of Something Random to Ramble About for around like 15 or so minutes for no rhyme or reason.
Hello,
Caine!
And today's rambling session is about the amazing digital circus! Okay, I'm sure you all know exactly what the series is. I really don't think I have to explain it. So here's a very short song and dance like I do every video. The Amazing Digital Circus is a series created by Gooseworks. And, I like. This series is about, Pomni Digital Circus, who is transported to the circus because she fell into a well, I think. This show features
Hello, everybody.
Ragatha, Sparky, Lego Duplo, Marvin SML, and Noli, but specifically the Forsaken version for some reason. I don't really remember why. But, obviously, this video is more so about two characters in specific. Those being Caine, the sentient-ish AI ringleader who leads the circus, and his sidekick, assistant, whatever, Bubble. They both kind of lead the circus, mainly just Caine, and they are the ones that run the adventures that go on in every single episode. I'll explain stuff much later, or not much later, very soon. But before I continue, thank you all for 1,000 subscribers! You are all amazing! And I want to say that the Q&A suggestions video will be up eventually, probably later this week, if not early next week, I hope. So if you want to, go over and ask a question when it's up. But if you want to, for this video, please like if you liked it. And if you enjoy me, the person making the video, if you enjoy this type of content, then please subscribe. More stuff in the future. That would be rad. Anyways, this really just leads me to ask, what is their deal? What is up with Caine? But more specifically, what is the deal with Bubble?
Welcome to the goddamn digital circus! My name is Caine. I am your bitch.
Oh boy, I already sound deranged. Anyways, Caine, as I mentioned before, is the ringleader of the circus. He's the one who creates the adventures and moderates over everyone at all times. Mostly. It's hard to say exactly what's going on with him, but I assume it's the negative attention he gets for his adventures from the circus cast members, which is most likely why he is bugging out with the circus, especially in the episode 8 trailer. Speaking of that trailer, I think it's a very interesting thing to look at, especially when referring to Caine, given how it all centers around him. The thumbnail showcases him doing a play on The Truman Show, and the opening showcases a story very clearly about him, talking about a lover without a heart. To briefly summarize, this person that they refer to as the lover always wanted friends, but he didn't know how to get people to love him back. Yada yada, he tried to impress people with his magic, drive them more away, blah blah blah. And then it ends off by saying, this is the story of a little AI who ruined everything. The trailer also features voice lines said by him, and I don't think I have to go further. The reason I made this section to talk about Caine is because him and Bubble are very clearly connected in some way. I mean, take a good look at this clip.
Sure. Of course. I'm already getting tons of ideas. That was weird.
I would consider this proof enough for them to be connected in some way, beyond just being AIs in the circus. I personally am of the belief that Bubble is a computer virus that has infected Caine, and I believe that this corruption of Caine over the course of the series is Bubble's doing, sort of. I say that because also, very clearly, Caine wants the circus members to enjoy his adventures, even though they don't, and he just wants them to be his friend, so to speak. Which is why I think that story in the beginning is very important, because I don't think it's just Bubble doing everything. It's very clearly a variety of things. I just think that Bubble could be a major part of this. But obviously, to set this up, I gotta talk about the big boy himself.
Like, for example, right? I would never get offended if a stranger came up to me and said they wanted to fuck my mom.
Okay, I am sorry. I have never written a theory. I just wanted an excuse to talk about the series I've been a fan of for 3 years. Oh, Bubble. Bubble, 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 Bubble. Bubble is a character that has appeared as a minor role in every episode, usually just to make a 3-second joke and fuck off for the rest of the time. But something I find odd is how it seems like Bubble is just, breaking a lot of the time during the series. He'll act normal and then randomly just have a moment where he's, like, very clearly breaking the rules of the circus, like in episode 2.
Very sticky indeed.
Sounds.
Bubble, you can't say that.
Clearly he's saying something here, given Caine's shock at his words. Another thing I find odd is the censoring. It's not Caine's normal censor.
What the f*** am I looking at?
It's just a regular loud beep. Why? I don't know. Obviously, this isn't the only thing. Episode 3, he has higher awareness of the adventure thanks to his backward speech mentioning the monster.
Can't wait for all the children in the audience to get horrible nightmares from the monster.
Episode 4 doesn't have much, but has the odd tongue moment I mentioned earlier. Episode 5 has quite a bit of baggage. Bubble can just casually say without it censoring, despite the next episode the same word being censored when Zooble says it.
Not to mention the sex appeal.
Albeit they are a part of the human cast, so rules may apply more strictly to them. Then, a few moments later, Bubble is clearly about to say something here. Then he glitches and says,
You should throw a beach party.
And in response, Caine asks,
Why do you swear now?
and Bubble just casually loses an eye. Yeah, sure, man, sure. I find this scene kind of odd because it takes that weird foreshadowing element from episode 3's backwards message, but for some reason refers to what episode 7 is? Is this intentional? I have no idea. But if it is intentional, then clearly Bubble does have this some sort of higher awareness that I'm trying to explain here. Not to mention, Caine very clearly points out Bubble's more deranged pattern of speech. Clearly, this is only a more recent thing, and if you could assume that Bubble has been around since the beginning, I think that we're starting to see Bubble finally gain some control over the circus. Or game, whatever. Which is why he's starting to break the rules of said game. One more moment in episode 5 I do find kind of odd is how, in the intermission, he's depicted as about to eat Pomni. This could be important, but it's likely just to be a random fucking thing for the bit. But as for the rest of his screen time, episode 6 really has nothing of note, and episode 7 does have this weird moment. During Jax's little temper tantrum, Bubble is just staring at us? Why? I mean, this confirms he knows that we are there, and not in like a Jax breaking the fourth wall because funny way, but in more of an odd, off-putting way, just kind of gazing at the camera instead of who's actually talking. This isn't meant to be a joke here. I think it's a very, very intentional detail. If it was a joke, then someone would have pointed it out. Why is he staring at the camera? Unless he knows that someone, us, is watching him. Or the circus in general. Whatever. Okay, and episode 8 has Bubble moments. Being the Bubble Swarm scene where Caine is being stormed by a ton of bubbles, and he's trying to pop all of them. Maybe in a way of, like, closing pop-up ads. Okay, but that's enough discussing about Bubble moments. I have to start theorizing.
Coming to a theater nearby. The next episode of the Great Gaskell's District episode of the Great Amazing Circus is coming now.
Okay, I'm not original in this line of thinking, and I have no idea who came up with this theory, but I think it would make a lot of sense. Also, if anyone knows who actually came up with this theory first, I would really like to know. Maybe I could credit them in the description or pinned comment. I don't know who, like, The idea came from someone else, but I'm like kind of expanding on it in the way that I see it. Whatever, if someone knows, just tell me, please. My leading evidence of this theory is this joke here.
Angel food cake? Ow! You parasite!
While this is definitely meant to be a haha, I think that Caine referring to Bubble as a parasite is a very interesting thing because of what a parasite is. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, it is an organism living in, on, or with another organism in order to obtain nutrients, to grow, or to multiply often in a state that directly or indirectly harms the host. Breaking this down, Bubble is the organism, Caine is the host. While an argument could be made whether Bubble is in or on Caine, I believe that it's meant to be with another, that another being Caine. I believe that is very likely that Bubble is directly harming Caine, and it is meant to multiply given this one scene in Episode 8's trailer. As for the definition of malware that I'm using, it is provided by Cisco, and the definition is any intrusive software developed by hackers to steal data and damage or destroy computers or computer systems. I don't think I really have to break this down as much as the other one, because it's very clear that Bubble is the intrusive software, and Caine is the computer/computer system. Both of these words, or things, intercept each other, and both destroy the organism that they feed off of. The definition of malware also could be used to explain what Bubble is doing to Caine. It is damaging, or potentially destroying, Caine. I mean, look at what we've seen of Episode 8. Bubble is everywhere and multiplying. It's as if Bubble is slowly taking over, similar to how viruses progressively take over a software. Another very important thing of note is one of the earliest viruses was called Bubble Boy. Yeah, I really think it's starting to add up here. I don't think Bubble is actually the Bubble Boy virus. I say this because I believe that Bubble is a direct harm to the Circus, but Bubble Boy, according to PC Mag, it did not do any harm directly, but I find it very interesting that Bubble is shown to multiply, and the virus in question seemed to cause a maelstrom in certain networks, which maybe could be represented by the multiplying bubbles in the scene I keep mentioning. So my theory is essentially boiled down to, in Episode 8, it is going to be revealed, or further alluded to, that Bubble is a computer virus that has some sort of control over Caine, or over the Circus in general. Is this going to happen? Yes, because I work on the digital it's really hard to say. Episode 7 left me in shambles. I have no idea where this is going. But if I had to take a guess, probably not. I'm probably just looking into things too much, but that's the fun of it. I love doing this. Anyways, I think it's time for me to close up shop.
I'm not taking my speakers off, so go ahead and turn those blinkers off. 'Cause I'm not taking my speakers off. I am Speakers O'Toole. People see I got shoes on and the turning heads. Dropping dead, let me see the answers to that. So while you're watching cartoons, that's emerging laughs. I'm taking my clothes off in your mother's bed. You're calling me ugly, it's never been more clear that this isn't a mirror closer than they appear. You drop that card to pretend that you're cool, 'cause you're a little mobility and no.
This was longer than I expected it to be, if I'm being fully honest. I hope that you guys liked it. I don't do theory stuff, so I hope this made some sort of sense. I wanted to at least get this out there before Episode 8 because I really want to see if I'm correct in any way, or if they just completely wipe away the idea entirely. Either result I would be happy with because I fucking love this series.
Anyways, that's all. If you enjoyed, I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed. Maybe even left a comment. Maybe check out my other content as well.
Please.
But that's gonna be all from me. My name is Carbon. I am actually Caine.
And TikTokers are probably going to re-upload this. Whoops.